Today we're going to learn all about photos inside Canva, and particularly how to upload your own photos, edit your photos, and use them right inside Canva as well. I'll talk through using frames, also some hacks to getting a background remover too if you hang around to the very end. This is video 6 that I'm doing in a series all about Canva for beginners as a free mini course right on YouTube. And if you do ever want some more support with Canva and your design, I have a whole course that will teach you everything around doing strategic design for your business that actually makes you sales, not just wastes your time. So let's dive in. And so I'm hoping by now you have watched the previous 5 videos in this series all about setting up an account, how to actually use things and where all the buttons are, how to use text, color, elements. And so if you haven't already, make sure you head back and watch those videos. And if you are brand new jumping in for the first time, hi, it's great to have you here. My name is Jackie and I am a professional graphic designer who specializes in helping everyday business owners learn how to use Canva well so that they can make sales in their business, and not just well, but strategically and in a time efficient way so that you can not only feel proud of your business, but save time doing it and make more sales through your business because people are attracted to everything that you put out there. So today we're going to all things photos. So to begin with, you can obviously, like I mentioned in the elements section, you can access photos from elements, clicking on photos and searching any kind of photo that you would like to in here. Or if you'd like to upload your own photo, you can do that too. You can just go to this uploads panel, and in here you can upload videos, photos, and audio. Just know that if you upload videos or audio, it will be in a different little tab that will appear up here next to images. So you just have to toggle across to that tab to see those videos. Now I'm just going to take a quick selfie of myself right now and then upload it in here so you can see me bringing in a brand new photo into Canva. So I'm just going to open up my photo, take a picture, cheese, and I'm going to send that to my computer and upload it into Canva. So you can either say I've got my Finder in another window over here. I could just click and drag in the photo directly, and you can see I'm just clicking and dragging this file, and I could drop it in. Or I could press upload files and I could just navigate to the photo that I have just selected and upload that there. You can also choose to record yourself, and you can choose to upload things from other areas like a Google Drive or a Google Photos or a Dropbox. And if you want to be extra organized, and this could be a great thing to do if you've just started your Canva account, you might choose to actually label your files in a way that you can find again. So say, for example, I could click on these 3 dots and you can see this pencil tool. I could choose to say smiling Jackie and press enter, and that is now called Smiling Jackie. And you can also see a few other options here. I've got the details. I can move it to a folder. I can re-download it if I want to. I can select if I want to choose multiple things together, or I could move it to trash. So say, for example, I click on this one, I could move it to the trash because I don't need 2 copies of me. And you can see over here folders. So if I wanted to, I could add that to a particular photo folder, which could be useful. Or now that I've named that accordingly, I could go into the search and search smiling, and you will see that image that I just created pop up there. Can you see that it's picked up both of those images? It's picked up the image I sent to trash just a moment ago because it can see that I'm smiling in the picture, and it's choosing to pick up things in that image that it thinks is relevant. So it's not just to do with what you've titled something. It might also be to do with what Canva can see is inside your image that might pop up in the search, which can be useful and annoying, depends on how you're taking it. So when you've uploaded a picture and you want to use it in your design, all you need to do is click on it and it will insert it directly in. Or if I delete that, you can also click and drag and it will insert it in, and I can kind of place it more specifically. Once I've inserted it in, I can then decide on what size I want it to be. I make it small or large, or if I right click on it, I can press set image as background and it will bring it to being the full page of the design. If I want to move it around at this point, I can't because it's part of the background. I could double click and I could bring it up and down if there is spare room, or make it larger or smaller. Or if I regretted adding it to the background, I can right click on the graphic, on the photo, press detach image from background and replace it as a movable photo. I'm going to show you now how to edit your pictures. And so the best way to do this is using this top panel. You'll see up here when I click on the photo, it brings up our floating bar. I have the option to edit, which I'm going to show you in a moment. You have background remover, which is a pro feature, although there are some apps that we can use to work around this that I will show you at the very end. Plus we have eraser. In here, I might choose to erase parts of the image. Magic Eraser kind of uses AI to kind of do the right kinds of erasing, or Pixel Eraser, I can just use myself. If I draw around here, I can just paint away parts of the image that I don't want anymore. That grey checkerboard pattern is showing me that that is now transparent. It's kind of a see-through part of the image. If I want to see the original image that I'm painting away, I can press this to kind of see when I'm disappearing. I can change the size of what I'm painting away here, or I can choose to restore. If I want to paint something back, I can use that toggle there, or I can press done. I'm just going to press undo now to get rid of that part that I just erased. And so you'll see here that inside that eraser feature, the magic eraser, which we can't access today because it's a pro feature, or there's the pixel pixel eraser. I will do a full video shortly sharing with you all the differences between Pro and free Canva so you can make the best decision for your own brand. So stay tuned for that video. Also make sure you stay tuned for the next lesson in this series because I'm going to be talking about aligning and positioning. And so if you don't know how to actually align things and balance things well in your designs, they're going to always look amateur. And Canva has some really great tools right inside the platform that is going to help you to make sure your designs are aligned and even. This is going to save you so much time instead of doing it manually, and it's going to make your designs look a lot more professional and therefore help people to trust your business a lot faster. So keep an eye out for that video next. So let's keep moving along this top panel. You'll then see these colors. If you watch the last video, you'll know that I shared a lot about color in there. This is kind of similar where you get a little bit of flexibility to tweak some colors if you wanted to. So if I grabbed this green and I wanted to change it to blue, you can see that it updated the green on my top to blue in a bit of a rough way. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. And so you can update colors a little bit in there. I will show you how to do this even more inside the edit panel in a minute. You can also choose to add an outline to your design or round the corners as we looked at with the shapes teaching earlier. You can also choose to crop your photo. You can do your cropping two ways. I've also shared this when I was sharing about photos in the elements lesson, but you can bring this little rectangular handle down to crop the image, or you can press this crop image button, which will help you crop it as well. And you can also select different presets, like if you want to crop it into a square, you can preset that. If you want to crop it into a different ratio, you can have those selected and it will automatically select that kind of ratio for you to make it easier to get it perfect. And you can choose to rotate here. So if I wanted to make the picture and fix it up to be straighter than it was, I can use this rotate feature. I'm going to hit cancel now though, because I don't need it cropped. You can also choose to flip the image, so make it opposite. You can do this with any photo, whether it's your own upload or otherwise. Make sure if you are flipping something, there's no text in the image, because if there's text, it's obviously going to be read backwards. You can also choose to edit the transparency, to animate it, and positioning. And so let's now look deeper into this edit panel, because this is where most of the magic happens with photo editing. Firstly, you can choose to edit just part of the image. So you can see in this select area section, right now I've got selected on all. But if I only wanted to edit myself, for example, I could press this click button and I can click on part of the image. You can see it's kind of picked up different parts. So say I wanted to just edit myself, I could click on myself here and I could then use some different features with that. So these features here are all pro, so I can't touch those, but I can choose to edit. So say, for example, I wanted to be a lot brighter, I can click on myself and you can see that it's just changing that area I have selected, which is really helpful if you need it. You can also choose to do brush, foreground, background. So this would just select the foreground, which would most likely be the person anyway, or just the background, or you can choose to deselect. I've rarely ever needed to edit just part of the image at once, but knowing that that's there can be useful. So I'm going to just hit to reset adjustments and go back to adjust. And then I'm going to select all on my image because I just want to edit all of my image for this part of the lesson. So first we have our adjust panel. This is the most classic adjustment editing designery photo editor part of Canva. All the other things are more like fancy effects. So if I go to adjust here, we can see we have all of our usual adjusting features. If you've ever used any sort of photo editing program, you'll recognize a lot of these. And if not, I'll step you through some of them now. So firstly, we have temperature. Temperature edits on how cold or warm the photo feels. So how cool it is, how blue it is, or how orange it is, how warm it is. Usually if you're wanting to edit this, you'd only edit it just a little bit, but you can see a little bit of difference that it makes if you make it either way. You then have tint. This edits it similarly, but it brings it from green to purple. And sometimes our pictures are just too green or too purple and it's really subtle. So just having this ability to change it a little bit can help. We then have our light features. So we've got brightness, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. I won't go into all of these a huge amount, but your best way to find out what they do is to try them. And you can just bring it back to 0 if you're not happy. So brightness changes the brightness of the whole image itself. You can see that I can either slide the slider or I can type in a number so I can bring it back to 0 if I wanted to. Then also got contrast. You can see what that does by seeing what it does to my image. Highlights kind of brings the lightest parts of the image and either makes them more subtle or brings them lighter. Shadows edits the darkest parts of the image and makes them darker or lighter. And whites and darks kind of does a similar thing, but a little bit broader. And so those are some things to play with there. You then also have the ability to invert. So if you had an image, maybe you took a picture of a sign or a piece of paper and you wanted it to be like inverted, this is the feature to do that. It will look weird on my photo here. it kind of makes it look like a photo negative, if you know what a photo negative is from our film camera days. And so this is really helpful if you have maybe a picture with text in it and you're wanting to kind of be really visible there, but invert is there if you do need it in that toggle. You've also got our color features here. So here I can bring up the vibrance, so how bright and strong the colors are. You can see when I toggle that, I kind of get a really orange face and my shirt particularly lightens up, or I could bring that down. Saturation is very similar, but usually a little bit harsher. And so play with either of these. This one kind of takes all of the saturation, all of the color out when you bring it one way and the other way. If you do want to make your picture black and white, this isn't the place to do it. I'll share with you somewhere else to do it shortly. We then also have our color edit, which I shared with you in the previous lesson, but in essence, you can click on a color and toggle the hue of how that color appears in the graphic. But just be careful because it's going to tweak any similar colors. So you can see here, this is kind of like the purple. My lips are a similar color. So when I move this, it kind of makes my lips look green too, which is not ideal in my opinion. You've also got the saturation of those colors and the brightness of those colors too. So again, you don't need these too much, and when you do edit them, you usually would do it quite subtly, but those options are there for you if needed. And lastly, we have texture, which is how sharp or soft or strong our graphic is. So if I go here with sharpness, you can see it kind of brings up how crisp the image is. And then makes it more soft if I bring down the sharpness. Clarity is similar, but kind of brings out more of the definition of the image and brings it back down, makes it feel more cloudy if you do that. And then vignette kind of brings in an outside border of darkness coming in from the corners or lightness coming in from the corners. I wouldn't play with vignette too much. It's not currently an in trend to play with. And clarity and sharpness, you would just edit a tiny bit if you ever needed to with your images. So that's our adjust panel. You do also have the option to reset adjustments at the bottom if you want to set the image back to how it was and you're not happy with your adjustments. I'm going to hit back now and show you briefly a few more of our things here. So we've got Magic Studio. These are all Canva Pro features, so I will go into these more in our Canva Pro lesson. We've also got filters here. So if I press See All on these filters, there's a lot of like preset filters inside Canva. Some of these are great, some of these are not so great. If I click on a really big and obvious one here, like polar, I can then change the intensity of that filter. So this is at full intensity, or if I liked it but just a little bit, I can bring that intensity down to wherever I wanted it to be, 0, halfway up, and all the way, depending on what I was after. If you keep on scrolling here, you'll also see at the bottom is our black and white features. So if you do want to make your image black and white, potentially choosing one of these could be a good way to go. We've got our color pop options in the bottom too. Let's go back to filters. I'm going to change this intensity of my filter down so that I don't see that right now. You do also have effects. This is the ability to kind of add a shadow to your design, to add in some autofocus, so to make the foreground crisp and the background blurry as if you were using like a really fancy camera. This can be hit and miss depending on how well it's been cut out, but you can play with those features there. You have the ability to blur the whole photo itself. So I can just press on the image here and press blur, or I can choose to brush to blur some parts of the image if I wanted to. And again, I can change the intensity of those things there. If I press across here, we've got that duotone, which I mentioned in the color changing lesson. You can also apply that effect to photos, and there's also a face retouch option here. Then you have apps, which I'll share with you in a moment, but in essence, Canva has a ton of apps. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, and there are literally hundreds of these that can do different things for your images. So if there's ever something you want to do, feel free to search that in apps and give it a go. Some are hit, some are miss. It's a little bit a hit and miss, but it can be fun to play with. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you which photo app you're going to want to use if you're going to remove your background without the Canva Pro feature here. So before I do that, I just want to briefly speak to Canva frames. So I mentioned this briefly inside the elements lesson, but if you click on elements over here and press frames, you can see a ton of different frames. These are where you can edit and insert photos into frames. So if I wanted to put my face into a 1, I can insert that frame, click on my photo and drag it on top of the frame, and it will insert in there. I can then double click and it will bring up the options of that photo, so I can move it around, or I might choose to make it larger or smaller. I can't make it any smaller than the frame itself, so I can't bring it in any further than where the tops and bottoms of the frames are. But those are some options for you there. So you have tons of options with your frames, and you can search for what you need if needed. And again, if you want to remove the picture from a frame, all you need to do is right click and press detach image, and your picture will be without a frame. Now, can you see when I held my mouse over the top of the frame, it inserted it? If you ever want that not to happen, hold down Control on your keyboard and it will not insert into the frame. All right, if you're on Mac, you hold down Command. And that's just a really helpful tip to know, because sometimes that little glitch, well, not that little glitch, that little feature will drive you insane. Not from personal experience. And so before we move into the next lesson, we're learning all about the real importance and the tools that we have available to us for alignment and positioning, which is such an underrated feature of Canva. I want to show you how to remove backgrounds for free. So just head over to Apps and search for Background Remover. hit enter. And we'll come up with a few different options here. Some of these are really great, some of them are not. And so the one that I recommend, there's a few, you can try them all out, but this one here of background cleaner with a little calculator on it, I find is a pretty good one. So if I click on this, you can see that I just need to select the photo I'm using and then I can press erase background. You get 9 credits each day. So that's gonna be enough for most of us with our everyday design needs. So I'm gonna select my picture and press erase background. It's then going to just load the picture, look at the picture, and it usually uses, and it'll use technology to work out what's the foreground, what's the background, and remove the background for you. Now, a benefit of Canva Pro is that it will erase the background for you and then you can choose to kind of paint parts back if you need to. You do have less flexibility with things like this one and it's usually not quite as good, but as you can see here, it did a decent-ish job. And so right now it's just said background cleaner has successfully uploaded the media to your library. And so if I go over to uploads here, you can see that transparent image is there and that's got something that I can now overlay over any color background that I want to. And it's got that really cut out background just for free. And if I was to edit this photo properly, I would hit edit and I'd probably bring up the brightness a little bit. I might edit the sharpness a touch, maybe the clarity a little bit, maybe bring up the vibrance. And then that's looking like quite a nice little picture. I might add in my brand elements to that, which I have not spoken about properly. And it would bring together a whole design. So I hope that's helpful for you. And before I finish, I wanted to inspire you too as to what's possible inside Canva. I want to share with you the experience of one of my students, Wanda, and she used to feel really insecure about putting her content out there because she was just trying to use Canva and it just didn't feel right. And when she started working with me, she now feels really confident because she has a cohesive brand. She didn't just pull together random colors and fonts on Canva, but she did it really strategically through my proven method that works for everyday business owners. And she now has a brand that speaks to her personality and sets the tone and expectations for her audience, which is really important to pre-qualify our audience and get them excited to working with us and to trusting in us. And so you can see the beautiful graphics that Wanda has created, again, right inside Canva. The possibilities are endless and I would love to help you even more. So let's dive into the next lesson all about alignment and positioning. And if you're ever wanting some more support, I've got a link in the description to a free masterclass that I'm running all about design. And it's going to help you with 3 design mistakes you're likely making, some Canva shortcuts to help you use a program really quick, and watching me design in real time so you can see how easy it is to apply a brand to a template that you also get access to, and so that you can start designing some really incredible graphics for your business today. All right, let's jump to the next lesson. I'll see you there.